guys, my name's Lisa Morris and welcome to my channel, Parrot Guru. Today we are going to be discussing the Beginner's Guide to Cockatiel Health. This is part 1 to a series that I am going to be doing. So this is a little presentation I'm going to be doing for you guys today. And we are going to be looking at what does a healthy bird look like, providing a safe environment for your bird, grooming, exercise and playtime, feeding and nutrition, healthcare, and home care responsibilities. Okay, so what does a healthy cockatiel look like? So to know what is abnormal, it's important to know what is normal. So a healthy bird will have um, nice bright eyes that will be free from any type of discharge. Their nostrils, will be free from discharge as well, and normal shape, size, and with no overgrowth. So no overgrowth on the cerri part of their nose. Their beak should be strong, and their beak should have no overgrowth. So your bird's beak shouldn't be overgrown in any way. It should be free from any fractures or asymmetry. The inside of your bird's mouth should look clean, and there should be no presence of any types of lesions, and there should be no smell. A horrible smell coming from your bird's mouth can mean a lot of things, particularly maybe perhaps a yeast infection. So it's important, if there is a smell, to contact your vet straight away. Your bird's feet should be moving freely on both legs, with no nail overgrowth, which of course can cause, if your bird's nails are overgrown, this can lead to accidents and injuries. No missing toes. Missing toes can also be a sign of a deformity or an underlying condition. The underside of your bird's feet should have no evidence of sores or swelling, which can indicate a bumblefoot infection. So make sure that you periodically look under your bird's feet for any signs of sores or swelling. Your bird's plumage, of course, should be shiny, smooth, and vibrant. And this is, of course, a healthy plumage means a healthy bird. So that is the first sign of a very healthy bird, is when their plumage is lovely and smooth and shiny and vibrant. Your bird should be of a good weight, and the keel bone should not be protruding. So if you have a look at your bird's keel bone, there shouldn't be a V shape coming out. So a protruding keel bone will kind of look like a V shape. So you don't want to see that. It means that your bird is very underweight. So what you're wanting to see is that on either side of the keel bone, you have their pectoral muscles, and those should be nice and plump. Right, providing a safe environment for your bird. So avoid mishandling your bird in any way, which can of course cause stress. Overcrowding is another very big stressor for a bird. So ensure that your bird has the correct size cage, and you're not putting in too many birds in the cage. Overcrowding can also result in spread of disease. Avoid stress from other pets and children. So try and prevent your dog from barking near the cage, or your cat from climbing over the cage, which of course is going to cause a lot of fear. And children running and screaming around the cage will also cause a lot of distress. Avoid unsafe toys and cages. This cage is rusty. So if you can see in this picture, this cage is very rusty, which can cause heavy metal toxicity in birds. So just make sure that the cage you buy is free from rust and made with safe materials. Avoid toxic plants and foods and toxic substances. So if you have a bird that is exploring your home, make sure that all of the indoor plants are kept well away from your bird, because a lot of indoor plants are actually toxic to birds. So it's important to keep them away from them. And of course, chemicals in the home are highly toxic to birds, and can cause a lot of respiratory distress and can be fatal. So yeah, let's look at grooming. So it's important to bathe your bird 2 to 3 times a week. This encourages your bird to preen, which encourages its feathers to grow lovely and for it to keep a healthy plumage. Allow your bird to dry naturally in a warm environment. So don't use a hair dryer on your bird. I know a lot of people do use hair dryers on their birds, but this can actually cause the bird's feathers to become brittle. And a bird's skin is also highly sensitive. So any type of heat on the bird's skin can actually burn them quite badly. A lot of hair dryers as well contain a Teflon foil, and of course, Teflon is highly toxic to birds. So rather allow your bird to dry naturally in a warm environment. Provide your bird with natural wooden perches to allow nails to wear down naturally. You can do this by buying natural wooden perches of different sizes and widths. You can buy these online or in a pet store, and this really does help your bird to a bird's nails to wear down naturally, and it also encourages good foot health. If you are new to bird keeping and you haven't had experience in trimming your bird's nails yourself, then I highly recommend you go to a vet and have them do it for you, because if you cut your bird's nail too short, it will bleed profusely. And of course, it's very dangerous for a bird to lose a lot of blood. So it's important that you have your vet trim their nails. Provide cuttlebone and natural wooden toys for your bird to wear down his beak naturally. So, cuttlebone is obviously a calcium supplement as well, but it does do a good job in wearing down your bird's beak naturally. And parrots, all parrots, and a cockatiel is a parrot, love natural wooden toys so that they can chew on them. And obviously, this does wear down your bird's beak naturally as well. Provide a healthy diet for a healthy plumage. This goes without saying. A healthy diet will always encourage your bird's feathers to grow and obviously result in a healthy plumage. Right, exercise and playtime. Engage your bird in daily interactive play sessions to keep them active and entertained. This can be done by teaching your bird new tricks, by teaching them how to whistle, by teaching them how to talk, by doing clicker training with your bird. Any type of one-on-one sessions with your bird will encourage that special time between you two to build trust and a lovely relationship with your bird. Provide toys, swings, and climbing frames and foraging opportunities. This is important, especially for small birds like cockatiels, which love to swing, they love to climb, and of course they are foraging birds by nature. So by providing foraging opportunities to them, they'll be absolutely in their element looking for their food. If you go onto sites such as Pinterest, there are hundreds of foraging ideas on there of how to make foraging trays and baskets. And obviously, there's a lot of toys out there that you can buy that also helps them to forage. Creating an environment which allows climbing and flying. Obviously, birds are built for flight, so it's important flight is encouraged to keep them healthy and to encourage them to exercise and keep their weight down. You can do this in a safe environment, such as an aviary, if you are able to build an outdoor aviary for your bird to fly in. Or if not, like myself, I've got a very small garden, so I don't have that space to build an aviary. So I actually have a bird's room, so my birds are able to fly around their room safely. Feeding and nutrition. Obviously, a healthy diet is, I would say, one of the most important things you can ever do for your birds. So, by providing a wide variety of fruits and vegetables for your bird, this is obviously going to prevent a lot of ailments in your bird by providing a healthy diet. You can also provide table foods such as eggs, pulses, and legumes. This is fantastic. It gives your bird a wider variety of foods to choose from. Obviously, choose a high quality bird seed and a pellet that meets your bird's specific nutritional needs. So go to your pet store, and a little tip, always buy seed and pellets that are packaged. You don't want to be buying seed and pellets that are in those big drums, because you don't know what kind of bacteria or other kind of pests that may have been in the drums that you can buy the seed in. So just make sure always that you are buying packaged food. Feed your bird appropriate portion sizes to maintain a healthy weight. This is as important as feeding your bird a wide variety of foods. The portion size obviously is important because it prevents your bird from overeating, and also stops your bird from getting too little food. Your vet, sorry, can help you with this. So your vet will take into consideration your bird's weight, your bird's physical health, your bird's sex, the sex of the bird, and also the species of bird and the age of the bird. So your vet will compile all of this information together, and they'll be able to put your bird on a proper diet with specific portion sizes for your bird's needs. So when to see a vet? So it is important to see a vet when you have a bleed that won't stop. Cockatiels, unfortunately, are notorious to having night frights, so it's important to always provide a night light for your bird. But when they have these night frights, sometimes they can actually hurt a blood feather, and blood feathers just will not stop bleeding on their own. So you actually have to stop the bleeding. So if you are unable to do that, it's important to obviously see your vet straight away. So in that case, you would put a little bit of flour on the blood feather to help to encourage clotting, sorry. But if this doesn't work, then obviously see your vet straight away. Injuries, bites, burns, poisons, and crop impactation. Obviously, these all require an immediate vet appointment. If your bird stops eating, this is obviously a huge red flag that something is definitely wrong with your bird. So it is important to see a vet when that happens. Sits and lays at the bottom of the cage. Now, this is a huge red flag that your bird is definitely very, very poorly, that it hasn't got enough energy to actually perch. So it will sit or lay at the bottom of its cage. So that requires an emergency vet appointment. Obviously, if your bird is lethargic, that is another sign of illness. Unfortunately, cockatiels are prolific egg layers. A lot of them are. So egg binding is not uncommon in cockatiels. There is a lot of information, sorry, out there that tells you a lot of home remedies to do if you have an egg-bound bird. However, a lot of home remedies just do not work. So vets advice is usually, if you see your bird straining to lay the egg and the egg hasn't been laid within about 20 minutes of your bird straining to lay it, it's important to get an emergency appointment. Abnormal droppings, it's important to check your bird's droppings every single day for any abnormal droppings. Abnormal droppings is another first sign that something is definitely wrong, and it is the first sign of illness. So home care responsibilities: regularly weigh your bird. Regular weight checks. Weighing your bird daily is amazing if you can do that, if your bird will allow you to weigh it daily. I know that some birds can be a little bit funny about jumping on the scales, but it's important that you train your bird to be weighed. If you can't weigh your bird daily, then at least weigh them once a week. Weight loss is a sign that something is wrong with your bird. As we mentioned just now, that you should check your bird's droppings daily, because abnormal droppings is another first sign of illness. Regularly, thoroughly cleaning with the bird safe products of the cages, toys, food, and water bowls. So yes, this helps prevent any bacterial infections and fungal infections. So make sure that you are cleaning your bird's cages regularly, daily if possible, if not at least a few times a week, with an avian safe product such as F10. It's important to keep a first aid kit nearby. So when there is an emergency situation, you've got something on hand to stop bleeding. For example, as we discussed earlier with that flour, you can put the flour on the wound, which can help clot the wound and stop the bleeding. So it's important to have a first aid kit nearby. Register your bird with a certified avian vet. Obviously, this is imperative to have an avian vet um, for wellness checks. Wellness checks is usually every 6 to 12 months. Um, and of course, when your bird is poorly, so you can take your bird to the vet. Knowing your bird, what is normal behavior for your individual bird is appetite, sleeping patterns, and weight. I know if you are new to bird keeping and you haven't had your bird for a long time, um, it may be a little bit more difficult to know what is kind of normal for your bird, but once you form a relationship with your bird, you'll very quickly realize how much your bird eats, its sleeping patterns, if you're weighing your bird regularly, how much it's supposed to weigh. All these things will start to become second nature to you, and you'll get to a stage where you will just look at your bird and know, yes, there's definitely something wrong with my bird and I need to go and see a vet. So that is all we have time for today. I hope that was informative for you. Like I said, we are going to be doing a series. So this is part 1. So part 2 will be coming very soon. But for now, God bless and stay safe.